I guess now's a good time to address the fact that this week we're both sick.
God damn!
Oh, yeah, both of us.
It's not COVID.
It's not COVID, but I definitely gave Aaron whatever the fuck this thing is.
Yeah, so now I have the fucking scratchy old lady Marge voice.
Yeah,
so.
they're going to be like, who the fuck? If you're listening for the first time, these are not our normal voices.
These are not. These are much deeper.
Yeah, but like.
Or they feel deeper in my head.
Oh, yeah.
Because I can't hear as well.
Exactly. I feel like you just sound a little stuffy to me.
Is that all it is? Yeah. I answered the phone this morning and they said, whoa, are you trying to sound sexy? And I said, no, I'm trying not to die.
Why is it every time you're sick, somebody always says, like, oh, you got the sexy voice?
Yeah, because
like,
people are creepy.
Hello, I smoke a pack of cigarettes a day.
Yeah, who knew that was the standard for beauty?
Yeah, I wish I would have known.
Could have gotten on this train way sooner.
It turns out our high-pitched squeaky voices are not the fucking standard for beauty.
No, who knew?
Who knew?
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
I am too. It's a niche audience.
Do you think at CrimeCon, if we see Chris Hansen and he hears us talking, he's going to feel the overwhelming need to, like, protect us?
He's going to feel an overwhelming need to hire us on his show to be like, can you be our child actors?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Like, he's going to have Armand have a seat.
What are you doing here with these two ladies?
He's
Sorry,
like,
girls.
I'm here to help them.
I'm here so people like you don't creep on them.
Oh, my God. Hey, CrimeCon, guys. Come to CrimeCon.
Come to CrimeCon.
ISGD, secret password.
To
get 10% off.
10% off. ISGD. CrimeCon Vegas 2022.
Hell yeah.
April 29th
through
to the May 1st.
Mm-hmm. Shit's going to be a lit.
She's never used that word before. We're trying it out for CrimeCon. All right, Stace, give me your goddamn.
Oh, man. Okay, so this is another house endeavor thing.
Uh-oh.
So when we first moved to this house, one time I saw some, like, vacuum truck thing outside the front, and they had lifted the pothole, manhole thing out of the center of the fucking road.
And then Lee was like, yeah, they blow air every once in a while. Bugs come up.
Yeah,
right?
what is that?
I don't know. They've never done it near us.
What the fuck is that? Okay, so
That's
they were...
your town thing.
Yeah, they were, like, blowing air in the lines.
My town was like, don't fucking touch that shit.
There's cockroaches in there.
Leave them be. That's how you get demons.
Yeah, well, that's exactly fucking right. So, like, they were blasting some air through there. I had no idea what they were doing. My kid was super pumped to look out the window and see a fucking vacuum truck or whatever the hell it is. So, you know, that was all exciting. And then all of a sudden we heard this giant gurgle and splash.
Oh, no.
And all of the toilet water had, like, flung out of the toilet.
Didn't you learn? Didn't Lee say you had to fucking close the toilet seats?
Well, this is what I'm telling you. This is what happened before, the first time.
I thought you were talking about now.
No,
and I was
no.
like, hold on.
Okay, so this happened the first time. And yes, I learned my lesson.
Okay.
And so this time I was working today. I heard a bunch of noise outside and I was like, I'm fucking busy, whatever. And then eventually I was like, dude, what is going on outside? And I look and I see the giant vacuum truck and I was like, oh, hell no. And I got two little boys at home and a grown boy and they piss in the toilets without flushing.
That shit's going everywhere.
Yeah. So I like ran to the bathroom. I shut the toilet lid and I flushed. And I did it for my bathroom, too, because we have two of them. Okay, so I do that, and I'm walking back to my desk, and then I hear just a giant explosion into the bathrooms. And I'm like, it fucking happened again. Like, this is not normal.
No.
Someone's not doing something right, or they're coming because my house is the problem. Like, what? Why is there water exploding? So I was like, whew, thank God I fucking got there in time, right? Like, seconds. And there would have been piss all over my bathroom.
That's
and it is
gross.
An explosion. Like, it would have been everywhere. So I fucking raced the clock, beat it, whatever. And I was like, high-fiving myself. Like, yeah, got it. Good job.
Nice work there, Stace.
So then, like, I don't know, 10 minutes later, I had to pee because I pee all the time.
Oh, no.
And I walk into the bathroom and there's fucking water all over the toilet. Like, the lid had contained it, but it, like, exploded out of the sides and, like, dripped down. And I was like,
what the fuck?
That's a lot, right? Like,
yeah.
If anybody knows anything about plumbing, let me know what's happening because that's fucking weird. Like,
and also, what if you weren't home? Like a normal person who worked, like, outside of the house a year ago.
That's how Lee's mom's house got flooded. But they I guess I don't know if they do air or if it's like water that they blast. I'm assuming it's water that they blast through the lines or something to clear them.
I've literally never had this happen.
Yeah, well, it happened to Lee's mom, and the water pressure got so high it blew the like flex hose off the back of the toilet, and then water was just spraying because those hoses obviously hold the water into your toilet.
Yeah.
But now it was like an open faucet into her bathroom, and she was at work, and it happened early in the morning, and it flooded her whole house the whole time she was at work.
Oh my God.
And she had to have the walls, like half of the walls all through her entire house removed, aired out for like months. They had to redo all of the drywall, all the floors, everything, right?
I remember all that shit, yeah.
I'm aware of what needs to happen.
Was she able to sue the city? Like, are they fucking liable for that?
No, but she had insurance and they covered it.
I mean,
but
I guess,
still,
but
like,
still, fuck you, city.
She was out of her house for like 6 months while all
Yeah.
this is going on because it
That's
fucking
crazy.
blasted some air through the lines or whatever. Okay, so that's happening at my house, right? Okay, I go in there and there's water everywhere and I'm like, holy fucking shit, that's insane. I'm so glad that I closed this lid. Like, the universe was on my fucking side because I was annoyed a couple of times. Like there's so much shit going on outside and I'm busy, whatever. Like, and I kept thinking like, I should really look. And then I finally did, and I ran and did that within like seconds, right? So I'm like, good job, universe, thanks. So I clean up the toilet and everything, make it all nice. I go to the bathroom, whatever. And then now tonight, right, we're about to record and you're about to come over, and we all know that recording night is poop night. Like, if we're recording for whatever reason, we just got to shit our brains out.
You evacuate your
bowels. It was a
bowels.
fucking emergency. And I ran to the bathroom and I plopped my ass down.
Oh no. Was it wet?
It was soaking wet because it was my bathroom.
And you hadn't been in there yet?
And I hadn't been in there yet, and nobody had. Well, somebody had. I think maybe my younger son must have, because the toilet seat was up.
Yeah.
Because I literally just like fucking ran. If I had lifted the seat, you would have seen it. It was fucking everywhere. And I like ran and sat down, and it was just like I slipped on the toilet. Every woman knows this wet slip. It's like the fucking worst. And then I just had like toilet water all over my body.
Ew, that's so fucking
But I had
gross.
to shit my brains out. But I didn't. I held it in. And then I just grabbed a bath towel and like wiped it down really fast. It was an emergency. Wiped it down really fast. While I'm doing this, by the way, guys, let me paint the picture, because my leggings are like at my knees. Because I'm like, I gotta shit myself. It's wet. Like, jump up, wiping everything off. My oldest son walks in while I'm bare ass facing him, trying to wipe the toilet seat down. And he's like, Mom, I have to pee. And I'm like, go in the other bathroom.
Yeah,
Like,
why are you even in here?
what the fuck is going on in here? Anyway, so I cleaned it up and I peed, but I sat in definite toilet water. And I haven't showered or anything, so there's just like toilet water on my ass. I did flush before they did that, but still.
You're the gross one.
I know, I totally am. And spoiler alert, I didn't even poop.
What?
I know, wasn't
didn't
ready.
get it out?
All the excitement just fucking scared the turd back in there.
Adrenaline just sucked it right back into your body.
Okay. Not today. So that'll probably happen in the middle of this, and you're welcome.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
I hope somebody leaves a review and is like,
They talk about shit a lot. And one of them's gross.
it's good if you like talking about their dirty buttholes. Which, by the way, that person listens now.
I know.
Still my favorite review.
It's not dirty.
Oh, God.
Well, goddamn, that's fucking gross.
Yeah.
You
What's your
nasty.
goddamn, Aaron?
It's not nearly as exciting as yours, but I saw a TikTok where someone taught me how to
Rip an apple in half.
No.
Oh.
Good one, but no. No, they taught me how to like set automations on your phone or whatever. And so
my God.
hers was that she did one when her husband would like plug the phone in or whatever, it would say something. And I was like, I'm going to do this to Brandon. It's going to be fucking hilarious.
Oh, my God. Did you get him?
So I was like, yo, can I see your phone really quick? And he was like, yeah, whatever, because he trusts me. And then I did it really quick, and I just told him like, oh, I couldn't figure out. Never mind, doesn't matter, whatever. And
Here you go.
and I was also high, and so I was so fucking excited to like, do you need to plug your phone in now? So I had it say, when you plug the phone in, it says, put it in me, daddy. Because I thought that'd be funny. I also did it to my phone first because I was like, that's A, funny, and B, I wanted to see how it worked. You know, like,
does it work?
I want to make sure I can like go through these motions quickly on his phone.
Yeah. Doing a couple test runs.
Yeah. And so it happens. It's funny. It's great. Gets me every time. Every single time. Because it also takes a minute. So you plug it in and you're like, anyway, I was going to do this. And it's like, put it in me, daddy. And you're like, every time. So my husband did not plug his phone in that night like a freaking weirdo. And then the next morning he went to work at home, but his charger is not a plug. It's a fucking set it on it thing.
Oh, son of a bitch. Does
Yeah.
it work like that?
It does.
Oh, good.
But then that means that every time he picked up his phone, made a call, and then set it back down on there, it would say, put it in me, daddy. And he was not impressed.
Did he know how to fix it? Was he like, something's wrong with my phone?
No, he was like, I mean, he's not dumb. So he's just like, I just Googled it and like took it off or whatever, like you're stupid. And he texted me immediately like, you're stupid, whatever. And I laughed, whatever. So it's still on my phone because I just haven't changed it back. And I still think it's funny. It gets me every time. And I'm a child.
Yeah.
So then I was taking my kids to preschool and daycare this morning, and I had my phone plugged into the car, and when you plug it in, it says it, but like whatever shit's happening, they don't notice.
No one hears it.
Yeah, and so then I had it in like the center console thing, and then I'd bring my girl to daycare first before I drop off my boy at preschool. And so I turned off my car, put her into daycare, and then came back out and turned my car back on, which starts the charging again. But then my kid from the back seat goes, "Put it in me, Daddy." And I was like, I'm sorry, what?
He's like, every time you plug it in, that's what it says.
He goes, your phone said, "Put it in me, Daddy," twice. Why did it say, "Put it in me, Daddy"? And I'm like, you need to stop saying that right now.
Oh, no. Okay, I will just hand you the Best Mother Award. You now own
taking
it.
that right back. Oh, my God. I was trying so hard not to laugh or like react to it because I'm like,
You don't want to feed into it. And
Yeah,
then he's
like,
going to say it all the time.
I don't need him to go to daycare and be like, "Sup, Daddy?"
Put it in me, Daddy.
Put it in me, Daddy.
Oh, my God.
Oh my God. And so I was just trying to be normal. And then afterward, I called Brandon and was like, oh my God, he said it. Like, he heard it. I should really change it. And he's like, he's going to say it at preschool now. And I was like, first of all, probably, but maybe not.
Oh, my God. Did you have a heart attack when the teacher pulled you to the side to talk about her not having lips?
Yeah.
Which is really not relevant at all if you cut that part out for this. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. When she did pull me to the side and said like, oh, he said this the other day, I was like, oh no, son, what?
Oh, no. She's like, it sounded like "put it in me, Daddy."
Why would he be saying that?
Is that something you say in your house a lot?
Right. Well,
Depends.
what kind of mood are we in? Trying to make another baby or what?
Oh, my God. That's great.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So I still have not changed my phone, but now my kid's catching on and
Oh,
I'm
you're going to have to switch it up.
dancing that fine line.
Will you change it so that it says, like, your kid's name smells like poop or something silly?
Yep. Something silly.
And see how long until he says something about it?
Oh my God.
Do you think it'll hurt his feelings?
Yeah, probably. Okay. This week, hard cut. This week on episode 184, I'm going to tell you about Kevin Ives and Don Henry.
Ah, yes. Kevin Ives and
Kevin
Don
Ives.
Henry. This
Exactly.
motherfucker has two first names. This two first name have a motherfucker.
Don Henry? He
Yeah.
does, yeah. This guy. This was in 1987.
Solid year.
Great year.
Great vintage.
In Alexander, Arkansas.
There are way too many first names in this story.
So far, it's just Kevin, Don, Henry, and Alexander.
That's a lot. That's four. That's
It's true.
four.
That's only the first bullet, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't follow anymore.
Okay, don't worry. You don't have to worry about Alexander anymore. That's
Okay.
just the place. You can think about
And
Arkansas.
Arkansas. Just the one, right?
Just the one Arkansas.
Okay.
So, trigger warning, Don and Kevin are kids.
I don't want to hear the story. Let's pack it up. I'm over it.
Are we out?
Yeah.
Are we all out? Bye.
Everybody, hang up.
Bye.
Whatever you do with
Hang up.
these things, turn it
Yeah.
off. Hit pause. Later.
pause.
I'll see you next episode.
Bye. Just kidding. You're going to be forced to listen to this.
I know. I'm here. I'll take the brunt of the shit for you guys.
Yeah,
I know.
there you go. Yeah. The
I'll be your
brunt
hero.
of the listening experience.
Let me be your hero, baby. Do you remember that song?
Wanna wash away your pain.
Yeah, you do.
We can stay with you
Forever. Let me take your breath away. Something like that.
Oh, take away your pain.
I can take. I thought it ended with breath away.
That could be. I don't know.
Oh, Enrique.
Enrique.
Okay.
Okay, so two kids. 16-year-old Don Henry and 17-year-old Kevin Ives were hanging out.
Okay, not to be a dick, but they're teenagers, and that somehow makes it a little less painful in my heart, which isn't okay.
100%.
Isn't okay at all, but for this non-logical logic in my brain.
They're not babies that are the same age as your babies. So it's like,
So then I can disconnect.
yeah, psychologically like a loophole, you know? Yeah, but for anyone with teenagers, I'm really sorry.
Yeah, oh my God. We'll see you next episode.
Yeah, exactly. Me. So Don and Kevin were typical teenage boys. They liked girls, cars, hunting, the works, right?
Hunting,
Hunting.
Fishing.
What?
fishing,
Probably.
camping,
In Arkansas?
riding bikes,
Right.
rollerblading.
Yeah.
Skating?
Yeah, probably. 1987?
Yeah, skateboarding.
Hell yeah. They did all of the things. I don't know how many of those things that she just named that they actually did,
But they were doing some shit.
but probably.
Yeah.
So on Saturday, August 22nd, 1987, they were at a local hangout spot near Little Rock with some friends. They decided that they wanted to ditch their friends and go night hunting.
Oh, what do you hunt at night? Mountain lions? Tigers?
So
Bears?
I don't actually know.
Bobcats? Coyotes?
I don't know.
I don't either.
I don't know what they were hunting for, but I'll tell you a little bit about the hunting. And
I'm
by
going to go
that,
nighttime hunting. I don't think
mean-
I've ever heard that.
so they were going to go spotlighting.
I don't know what that is either.
Well, it's I didn't either. Don't let me pretend that I do.
Okay.
Well, stupid.
Let me just explain to you. You bring a spotlight.
You do. You bring a spotlight and you blast them with it, like shazink, and then the prey is like, oh no, and
That's
they
got to be a
freeze.
deer. That's got to be a deer.
Yeah, at night though.
Yeah. Deer in the headlights?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
then they freeze and they're like, and then you shoot
Go
them.
boom. Okay.
It's illegal in Arkansas.
Oh. You know, listen. I don't know if I should bring this up here. I grew up in a family that hunts. Nobody cares, but I'm going to say it because I have a podcast. I grew up in a family that hunts. I'd go in the backyard. There'd be skinned deer, everything. I love the food. I fucking support it. I love it. Whatever. But then people who hunt for fun, I'm just hoping that they're also eating everything and doing whatever. Like I would imagine.
Doing the good thing.
I'm not here to judge, but also when I hear that like it's illegal to hunt at night like that because it's like unfair playing grounds.
Yeah.
I'm also kind of like, but I mean, you have a gun. Like
That's
it's
also unfair.
It's unfair during the day.
Yeah.
It's a little harder. But you have a gun and the deer has nothing but like antlers.
It's
But they're
hooves.
so far away and
To
you're in a
frolic
fucking
away.
tree. Yeah, like I just don't get the logic and I don't
Yeah.
know why we draw the line there.
I don't either. And
Not
I
that
guess,
I'm here to draw any lines. You guys fucking do your thing. Be your best person.
Yeah, fucking live your best life.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's only illegal in Arkansas or if it's illegal like in most states.
Yeah,
or,
like I feel like it's like a moral thing, you know? Like,
Yeah.
Also, if I were like needing to eat deer or whatever,
I'd spotlight the hell out of that bitch.
fuck yeah, like to feed my family, I'd be like, guess what? We're going
what?
spotlight hunting.
Guess what's easier? Shazam.
I
Pow.
gotta do laundry on the rock in the morning, so we're gonna.
I don't got time
Yeah.
to fucking track this bitch.
Where's that 500 fucking candlelight
There you go.
Spotlight.
Lumens.
gigawatts?
So they wanted to go night hunting. So they left their group at about midnight and they went to Dawn's house.
Okay, Dawn. Dawn's got the flashlight.
Dawn's got
Sounds
the
like-
flashlight. So at Dawn's house, Kevin waited on the porch and Dawn went inside to talk to his dad. Dawn's dad, Curtis, said that...
Another name. Okay,
Don't worry, you don't have to really remember that one either.
I'm on it. I got it.
Curtis said that Dawn came into his room at about 12:15 a.m. to let him know that he and Kevin were going to go hunting.
Okay, and his dad wasn't like, "What's up, Greg?" You weren't like, "Hey, that's illegal in Arkansas."
Oh, no. It was 1987, so the dad was like, night hunting by yourselves.
Goodbye.
Go forth.
Yeah.
Peace
Please
be
just
with you.
don't wake me up next time you do this.
Yeah, sounds good. Have fun. I don't know why you came in here.
Oh, poor Craig.
Craig, you've said some names so far that are not in this story. You're just making shit up
His
now.
name's not Craig?
No.
What's the dad's name?
Curtis. Carl, I got it. I got it. Carl over here.
Definitely replaced too with a different name. Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
So Don grabbed his .22 rifle and his dad's spotlight, and he and Kevin took off to their normal hunting grounds, which was nearby some train tracks that ran through the woods behind Don's house.
Okay.
Okay?
So far, this story has everything I need.
Hunting, train tracks, woods. I
Nighttime.
would say a negligent father, but that's absolutely not true.
I wish I were a parent in the 80s. Yes,
Seriously.
exactly.
Yeah. It has
Best
the-
friends.
It has the fucking...
We
what
should
is
make
that?
this into a movie.
A trope. Yeah.
Good word.
Thank you. That I want. Like, Stand By Me.
Yeah. Like, I
Bye.
feel like I'm looking at a Polaroid as you tell this story.
You are. So now, nobody knows exactly what happened next. Okay?
Uh-oh. Okay, things get a little blurry.
Things get a little hazy. But at about 4 a.m.,
Oh my God, that's a lot of spotlighting hunting.
I mean, yeah, it's a solid like 3.5 hours.
That's too many hours.
at least. Well, a train was coming down the tracks.
Uh-oh.
And the conductor saw what looked like bodies on the track.
Oh, no.
He said,
Choo-choo, motherfucker.
choo-choo, motherfucker. He's like, I'm fucking coming, right?
Yeah, you better get off the tracks.
He said there were 2 bodies lying perpendicular across the tracks with their legs over one side and their upper body over the other side.
That sounds so uncomfortable.
And their arms were down at their sides, like fucking perfectly straight, right?
Yeah.
And there was a green tarp partially covering them.
Oh, Lord.
Okay? Now, the conductor obviously tried to stop and was blasting the horn. He was, choo-choo, motherfucker, I'm a-coming. He coming, right?
Yeah, I think I can.
Yeah, but
Not
he was
appropriate
like,
here.
I would love to stop. I think I'm done here.
I think I don't want to.
I think I'm out. Bye.
Little engine who could not.
Yeah, little engine who could please swerve.
I wish.
But he said that the people didn't move at all. Like,
Oh, God.
at all.
Oh, God.
He had the thought that they must be dead because there was no way that they didn't flinch with a train coming at them. Like,
Yeah.
even a person, if you're trying to stay there from suicide or whatever, you're going to be like, ooh, like tense up or something.
Brace for impact.
Yeah, or like a drunk person, I don't know, you'll like wiggle around, or like a passed out person, you'll be like, is this a fucking train? He was surprised that they didn't hear this train coming or move at all, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the train ended up running over the two people.
Oh, my God. I could never be a conductor.
No, could you imagine?
No. That's fucked up. And
Yeah.
he's just watching. It's not like you're going to look away.
I mean, you could.
I
You
definitely
closed
look
your
away.
eyes when you ran over a mattress or some shit in the
I was
road.
just going to say, every time I run over shit, I close my eyes. It's like my body's way of saving my mind.
Like, don't want to remember this shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no, is that a puppy? It's never a puppy.
I know. You like really look at it.
My
You're a
God,
really
no.
good liar, though.
Oh, thank you.
It was totally already dead.
You're talking about that raccoon that was clearly walking across the street when you hit it?
Yeah, I did not hit it.
Or Lee.
Lee hit it, and you fully convinced me that it was for sure dead. And then in the morning, I was like, if it was dead, why is the dent so high? A
'Cause
dead
it
thing
wasn't.
would not have hit my bumper. Yeah.
It was an alive one. Okay, so police show up at about 4:40 a.m.
I could only imagine what that scene
Crime
is
scene
like.
looks like?
Yeah.
Probably pretty fucking horrific.
Seriously.
I've seen trains that got like hit by a deer or that have hit a deer
Oh,
or whatever.
really? I've never seen any of
Oh my
this.
God, it's horrible.
It's like pieces.
It's like the train is like painted.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's bad. So
Oh, no.
police find Don's rifle lying on the ground nearby the tracks.
Okay.
The bodies were identified as Don and Kevin.
Okay.
So an autopsy was performed by the state medical examiner.
What kind of remains did we have to do an autopsy? Do you know?
I mean,
Were they just not, I don't want to be an asshole. Were they just like, were they intact still? Because I wouldn't imagine that they could be.
well, so they're laying on the tracks. So the train itself is only really going to hit like their legs and like the upper body area.
Okay. Okay. So it's not like,
They weren't pulverized.
okay. Yeah. Thank you
Yeah.
for thinking of a way better word than what I was going to say. It's like, it's not like they got fucking blasted away.
They didn't disintegrate.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, they still had shapes.
Okay. Okay.
I'm
They
assuming.
could perform an autopsy.
Yeah, because I did not see the bodies. I did not look for them.
No, I wouldn't do that.
But, I mean, they were able to perform an autopsy.
Yeah. Okay. Good news.
So it was performed by state medical examiner Dr. Fahmy Malak.
Yes.
And he said that the boys had smoked the equivalent of 20 marijuana cigarettes.
Not marijuana cigarettes.
Marijuana cigarettes?
Roofies.
Was that what he says?
Yeah. And the Sublime
yeah.
song.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, I keep trying to picture it in my head and I can't, or like hear it in my head. Okay, so 20 marijuana cigarettes, and then they must have fallen asleep on the tracks, and so their death was ruled accidental.
What?
Because like they
That's dumb.
got
Because listen,
so fucking high, they
Yeah.
fell asleep on the tracks.
you wouldn't though. You would like fall on the ground or something, or sleep in a bush, or you wouldn't lay on the tracks, especially like that. That sounds so uncomfortable. And then pull a tarp on
Yeah.
you, like
Yeah.
this random green tarp.
Yeah, that you're just gonna this is my little blanket.
I just love laying on wood and metal and rocks and gravel.
It's not gonna be comfortable. You
No.
go lay in the grass that's like 10 feet away.
Literally, when you explained that their legs were hanging off one side and their upper body was hanging off the other, I was like, oh, that hurts my neck to think about.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Also, you'd be like, I might be high, but I don't want to die there.
I might be high, but I've never been so high that like A, I would fall asleep on some train tracks, or B, that I couldn't be woken up by a literal freight train.
Yeah. I
Like-
guess I've never had 20 Marijuana cigarette.
Marijuana cigarettes.
That's a lot. Who would? Okay, first of all, I have so many things.
I've been so high before.
I have two on accident, but
like,
you're right.
never.
I would not have fallen asleep on train tracks.
But you would have woken up too.
Where does kids in the 87s
Do?
get 21 marijuana cigarettes? Because I feel like having one is like a fucking hidden treasure. It's like a national treasure. Oh my God, Dawn's got a roofie. You know, not a
Yeah.
roofie. Did I say roofie?
You did. That's why I was
reefer.
so. That's what it was. That's why I was so confused, and I was trying to hear it in my head, and I was like, I can't hear it. So maybe he says like it doesn't make any sense.
I was like,
that he says roofie.
we just did it. What is she reliving? But okay.
I was trying so hard. I've never put together that he said the wrong thing.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Oh man,
I didn't realize it till I just repeated it.
makes
roofie.
more sense now. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but I feel like that's like a national treasure, you know? Like,
So
and if you have 20 of them, like, you're not going to smoke them all in one night. You're going to be like, dude,
save that shit.
Yeah,
I don't know. My parents had me when in 1987, and my dad, not at the time, but before that, in whatever time that was, 7 years before that, he was allegedly quite the stoner.
yeah, I believe that. But, like, I feel like a 16-year-old having access to 20 joints at once is
My
like,
dad was a 20-year-old.
I don't know. Yeah, but like 16 and 20, that's a pretty big, like, remember being 16? Yeah, I had access to alcohol, but I'd get like one bottle of rum and I'd be like, this is for the entire party. You know, like, it's not like I
don't know.
had fucking
I think it was different,
a
though.
handle.
Because, like, my dad, he said it used to grow fucking all over his county.
That's
Because people
true.
would just plant that shit.
That's true.
I
My
don't
grandma
think-
used to come out and rip it out of the ground and say, who's planting this wacky weed?
Yeah. I don't think it was, like, medicinal quality.
Probably not. Like, it's like belladonnas around here.
Right.
Like, steep some tea.
But I believe that it would get you high, you know?
All right, kind of weird, but I still don't think that's a lot for like 16-year-olds to have.
Well, don't worry. We'll touch on that again later.
Because it's not true.
Weird. So the boys' parents were like, abso-fucking-lutely not. Like, that's first, Don's dad was like, Don would have never put his gun on the ground because he wouldn't have risked scratching it. Like, that
okay.
was his baby.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't have put it on fucking rocks or whatever.
Yeah.
And also, like you were talking about, he wouldn't have just gone to sleep on fucking train tracks.
Yeah, that
like,
sounds
they're not
stupid.
They're not that dumb.
Yeah.
They're 16, 17 years old. They're people. Like, they have whole thoughts and
Yeah.
stuff,
yeah.
you know?
Like, they have self-preservation.
Yeah. And they wouldn't have gone to sleep on train tracks lined up perfectly next to each other, like in such an awkward
Let's
position.
go to sleep now.
Yeah, like, oh, here is where we are sleeping. Unless
Yeah.
it's like, you know, when your kid is like, I'm just going to sleep. Like, you've never slept like that ever.
Yeah. Fucking lying. See your eyes moving.
Yeah. So the parents obviously shared their doubts with the police and authorities and whatever, but nothing was ever done about it.
Really? That's sad.
So the parents took it upon themselves to hire a private investigator.
Ooh, I love these.
Yeah.
Private investigators are where it's at.
Hell yeah. And
Hell
this
yeah.
private investigator was like, you're on to some shit, right?
I'm going to investigate the shit out of this private matter.
I'm going to privately investigate on my own time. So then the parents held a press conference and they put all this shit on blast. They're like, guess what? This shit's fishy, right?
I didn't know you just hold one. I guess you just like get a hold of the local news and they're like, well, nothing else has been happening, so.
I think it's exactly that. And
Yeah.
they're like, oh, these are the parents of those two boys who were recently hit
ran
by a
over?
train.
Yeah.
Like, let's talk to them. That sounds
For
interesting.
sure. Get some
yeah.
views.
Yeah. So the police reluctantly reopened the case.
All right.
I guess we'll look into it a little bit more, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now a new prosecutor, Richard Garrett, was assigned to the case.
New
Fucking
prosecutor, huh?
fresh eyes on it, right?
Okay.
So he went ahead and had a second autopsy done in March of 1988. And
Okay.
this time he had it done by an actual expert. I say an
Oh,
actual
shade.
expert because
Oh,
the other
shade.
medical examiner, he's got some other fucking shady shit under in his past.
No.
Oh, yes. I'll tell you what.
How?
Do you?
Is he just like, I just love touching dead bodies? And they're like, oh, that's some shady shit in your past.
He's like, this is my passion.
Yeah, that's weird. Or is he just like making shit up? He's like, I don't fucking know. This job's hard.
I think it's a little bit of that and a little bit of like, who's involved in this one? Okay, this one's accidental.
Ooh.
So that's a little foreshadowing. So now the new autopsy states that the boys had closer to 1 to 3 marijuana cigarettes in their system.
More acceptable.
much more acceptable. And also, if we're judging by like 1987 standards, I think is much less than 1 to 3 joints today would be.
Okay.
Like,
So
it's
we've
not-
refined that shit.
Yeah, I feel like it's not that medicinal grade.
Okay, so you mean like it wasn't just like growing in their backyard, or it was just like growing in their backyard?
I believe it was more like, the shit that you find on the side of the road. They were at a party previously, and
Is
so
there-
people were probably like, hey man, I got this marijuana cigarette.
I don't want to sound dumb, but I'm probably about to sound dumb. Is that true? Like, has it gotten stronger over the years
Yeah.
because we've like fucking honed in on strains and shit?
Yeah.
Ah.
Okay.
Okay.
So they also found evidence that showed that one of them was already dead by the time the train came,
Oh, thank God.
and the other one was at least unconscious.
Okay, good.
Okay.
So they never saw that coming because that's horrific.
Yeah. So another expert also came out and said that it was highly unlikely that they would have passed out and become so comatose from marijuana that they didn't hear a train.
Right? Okay, so all of our points.
Yeah,
It's like
all of
we're
our points.
Geniuses.
They're like, it has literally happened to no one ever.
Yeah.
And it's very unlikely that it would have happened to this person, let alone 2 of these people at the same time.
Next to
right?
each other.
Next to each other.
Side by side.
Just suddenly
how
comatose.
were the police like, yep, accident. Makes sense. We trust them.
I mean, listen, the medical examiner said it. So you're like, I don't know, man. I'm not a scientist. That guy is.
I'm starting to think there's some shady police shit going on.
There's some shady shit going on.
Okay.
There is some fuckery afoot.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Tell me about it.
So they also found that Don's shirt had evidence of a stab wound to his back.
Oh, no.
And
Jesus.
they believe that Kevin's skull had been crushed by his own gun.
What?
So
Why wouldn't somebody use it? Like, shoot.
I think it's more like a, hey, you, shut up there. Ka.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Ka.
Ka. And then you're like, shit.
Oh, man.
So,
That's intense.
yeah.
Like,
Fucking.
you gotta have some rage behind that.
Yeah. Well, the people that we're going to be talking about have a little bit of rage.
Okay.
So this new prosecutor was going over all the evidence again, and he realized that there was no green tarp, like put into evidence or whatever, right?
What? Okay.
Now, at least 4
Somebody's like, but that's a good tarp.
does anyone need this tarp?
I have some things I need to cover.
I've been meaning to tarp some shit.
Are you gonna use
I'm
them?
just gonna go ahead and take this one home.
We just won't say anything about it, right? Like, nobody's gonna miss this tarp. This is a good tarp.
I'm gonna slide this right over here. I try and fold it up.
Damn it, Todd! Bring the tarp back.
I could never fold these upright, you know?
You have Kermit the Frog voice. It just comes out sometimes.
That's what all men in the 80s sounded like to me.
And they all had mustaches.
Exactly.
Okay.
So at least 4 people from the train who saw the accident happen, like the conductor
Oh, God.
and his buddies, right?
Engineers.
His fucking crewmen or whatever, and women, I don't know.
First mate.
First mate, yeah, his first officer here and his stewardess. I don't know who rides on a freight train.
Yeah.
But 4 people all said that there was a green tarp covering or partially covering the bodies.
Wow.
There's
Okay.
no tarp mentioned after, right?
All right.
And the police who searched the scene said there was no green tarp, and they denied that the conductor ever even told them about a tarp.
The tarp's like flapping in the breeze on the back of the train.
Right?
On the caboose.
Good word.
Thanks. Is the only other train word I got.
But the conductor was like, fuck that shit. Yes, I did tell you about it. I saw that shit, and I told you about it.
Yeah.
Because I saw it.
Because I saint it.
And all these other people saw it.
Yeah.
So as more evidence started coming out, it was noted that a man wearing military fatigues had been seen the previous week roaming around in those woods.
Uh-oh. We got a crazy person in the woods.
And someone called and was like, yo, there's a fucking suspicious character out here, right? And so the police attempted to talk to him.
Oh, they found him.
Yeah, they found him, well, during this time a week before.
Yeah.
They saw him and they were like, hey, man, you gotta fucking get.
You're weirding people out.
Yeah, you gotta go on now, right?
Uh-huh.
Go on, get.
Yeah.
And he just opened fire on them.
Oh,
And
okay.
They were like,
Here's a
retreat.
gun. Retreat.
We're out of here. Fuck that shit. And so then they ran away, and then he got away, and they did not find him again.
That was it? They were just like, okay.
Yep, they were
There's
like,
a man roaming those woods. He shoots at you, so be careful.
and the police were like, yeah, maybe don't go over there then.
Oh, my God. I feel like I could be a police officer in the 80s.
100%. Green tarp? Didn't see one.
Didn't see that shit.
That's my new green
Oh,
tarp.
yeah, we just don't go over there. We tried once, and he's crazy. So.
No, that guy's not worth it.
He shot at
Shoots
me.
at you.
He shot right at me.
Yeah, that's not worth
But I
it.
did get a nice tarp.
I did get a nice tarp. Slightly used.
Was it like a camo green tarp?
All
like
I heard was
one,
green tarp.
one that like a military person might have.
That's a great question, actually. I don't know. So, military fatigue guy shot at the police. The cops fucking dipped. They were like, I'm out of here.
They bounced. 1 shot, 2 shot, 3 shot, 4 shots. All I hear is gunshots. This is where the fun stops.
Bodies drop, hit the floor, music's off, party stops. Everybody hit the door. Somebody's getting shots off. God, I miss that song.
That was good. You remembered all of it. I forgot the second half.
Listen, I'm there for you. You usually remember the first half, and I'm like, did they say roofies?
And I'm like, yeah, I just said it.
Stupid. Okay.
Reefer.
So someone also reported seeing that same man on the night that the boys were murdered.
Oh, okay. Are there a lot of people in these parts, I'm guessing?
I think it's the 80s. There's people everywhere.
Just out about it. Fucking nothing else to do. Guess I'll go over by the train tracks. See
Another
if
doing
fucking
military fatigues.
Weirds running around. I don't know what I just tried to say.
Yeah.
I just stopped talking and started making sounds. It's fine.
So they saw this guy less than 200 yards from where their bodies were laid on the track.
200 yards?
Yeah, that's
I
not
could never be a witness.
It was about 200 yards away.
I'd be like, I don't fucking know, man.
This is in, like, I'm pretty sure it's rural Arkansas. And
Yeah.
so people are like, that deer was about fucking 4 clicks away or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
So they know how far away a dude
They're
is.
overnight.
Over out yonder.
Yeah. Down the holla.
They're like, actually, it's a well-built city. Don't know.
Also, 200 yards is a very relatable measurement. And I'm like, pfft, don't get it.
I feel like 100 yards is a very relatable measurement. But if
Is
you
that like
were
a football field? But then you'd be like 2 football fields. It's still like.
Yeah, but I've never seen 2 football fields like lined up to see something at the end of it and be like, that's
when you say
200
2
yards
football
away.
fields, I'm like, that's far away. When you say 200 yards, I'm like, oh.
I don't know. Well, that's gone.
But also, at least I'm pretty sometimes.
Thank God, you know?
Sometimes.
Also, you're pretty all the time. Shut your face.
Thanks.
Don't talk about my best friend like that.
Thanks.
Also, it turns out that in 1984, just a few years before this, and about 200 miles away in Oklahoma,
There's a lot of 200s in this story.
there are, right? Like, you're starting to feel like it's just a guesstimation at this point. It's not accurate numbers.
How weird would that be if it was precisely 200 miles away?
So, this is how they measured where to put the pyramids.
Oh my God.
Well, 2 young men named Billy Hainline and Dennis Decker were killed in much the same way.
Oh no, on the train tracks? With a tarp?
Well, I don't know about the tarp.
that. Okay.
Their bodies were found on train tracks in the exact same position. Their blood alcohol levels were right at the legal limit.
Oh, you could drive.
You could drive,
Yeah.
so potentially you would wake up to a train being like, choo choo, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Go and get. And they did not go and get. And so there was literally nothing that proved foul play, though.
They were just like, they fell asleep on the tracks.
Fell asleep on the
A
tracks.
whole other precinct
Uh-huh.
agreed to this as well.
Yeah.
Was it
Years
the same?
before.
Was it the same?
Medical examiner? No.
Oh,
I know.
Oh,
I know.
oh.
You were onto something. Because
Oh.
I was like, I'm sorry, what did this man do?
Yeah.
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 No. But their death was ruled unknown because the people were
Okay.
like, listen, it's fishy, but like,
I don't know.
we don't fucking know.
Also, I would love to have that option in my job.
I don't know.
Unknown.
Unknown.
When somebody's like, hey, what's up with this? I just be like, unknown.
That one's hard.
Unfucking known. I looked. Unknown.
Unknown.
Instead, you got to solve it. You got to be like, I don't know, but let me go talk to some fucking people and learn their job.
Yeah, you would think that that would also be something that they could do. Like, I don't know, but let me go talk to an expert. No, they're just like, unknown.
Yeah, you think they got like the one guy.
Yeah, like let's send this one off to Quantico.
Who has
Quantico.
seen everything.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, train tracks, for sure, it's a homicide.
Yeah.
This is a classic case of homicide. This is actually an exception to the rule. And the workaround is you
You're
look
gonna have
for
to-
stab holes in the clothes.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to have to open Excel.
Yeah.
Meet
Yeah.
Hank on the corner.
Yeah.
So the only update on that case, though, was that there was a meth lab that was found.
Oh, good. Every good story has meth also.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Well, there was a meth lab found a month later that was only, it said only, 1.5 miles from where their bodies were found.
Okay.
To
and
me, 1.5
related.
miles Feels pretty far.
That's a good walk.
But if that's the closest train track, I could see like, meth lab, shady business. Bring them to the train tracks. It's only a mile and a half, you know?
Oh, okay. I was like, why is meth involved? Like they didn't have any meth in them. But you're saying like maybe they got caught up with the wrong people.
Yeah, maybe they got
And they have a method of taking out those people via train tracks.
Mm-hmm. They got into some shit, right? So that's the only thing was they're like, I don't know, maybe it's drug related.
Has
There was a meth
anybody
lab over
ever been around a meth head? Because I feel like that is not their priority.
Bringing people to train tracks?
Yeah.
Or killing people?
Yeah, both of those.
Well, but have you ever been around a meth head who thinks that they have had something stolen from them? That's a different meth head.
But I feel like
than
the
first
method of meth head,
Ooh.
yeah. The method of meth head, like,
Dumb? Meth head
I'm thinking
dumb?
of like, rules or,
Morals?
yeah. It's more of
Compass?
like quick, like I'm going to shoot you. I'm going to fight you.
Oh, well,
I'm not
that's
going to carry you to the train tracks. I'm not going to drug you up with my good meth or whatever.
Oh, no.
carry
I
you
think
to-
that the idea was that they were shot, killed, whatever, strangled, murdered,
oh.
and then brought to the train tracks to destroy evidence. Like, go put them on the tracks, train
See,
will
that seems like
fucking
a lot of work
obliterate
for a
'em.
meth head. I feel like they're just going to leave the body there and be like, fuck, man, I don't know. I'm going to keep cooking this meth.
Maybe after like 3 days, though, they're like, we got to come down sometime and do something with these bodies are starting to smell.
Maybe they had
I
like
don't know.
one responsible meth head.
Maybe.
Like me. It would be me if I were a meth head. Mm-hmm. I'd be like,
And they're
listen,
like, we
guys.
really got to do something with this.
Yeah.
Shit is not clean.
Listen, guys. I'm feeling great right now.
I feel like I could make a 1.5 mile journey.
With 2 bodies?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is so not true. Plausible.
I think it's pretty plausible.
Fake
Also, they could
news.
have trucks.
Fake
Or
news.
cars.
They definitely could. Meth heads could. They could have bikes. They could have other modes of
They could have
transportation.
wagons.
But I'm just saying, this seems like a lot.
Well, maybe there's like a top tier guy who's not on meth.
Just
They're just
slinging
selling
it.
it.
Just slinging it. Yep.
Also, the people that are making the meth probably aren't meth heads. Maybe they are, but like if they have a whole ass operation going, they're probably
Well, I wouldn't go so far as to say like a meth house is a whole ass operation because you just have to have some Drano and like a fucking propane heater.
Bathtub?
Yeah,
yeah.
like it's not an operation per se.
I mean, maybe.
Could have been. I don't know what kind of.
Could've been.
I don't know what kind of level of meth house we were
I
dealing
don't know
with.
how big the lab was.
Yeah, is that what we call them now? Labs.
It was a meth lab.
Just
I don't
step
know.
into my lab. Yeah, but you can't call a Bunsen
Laboratory.
burner a lab.
I can and will.
You need at least one graduated cylinder,
They probably had one. So, either way,
pipette or 2.
all of this is completely irrelevant. It was just a quite similar case, right?
I like how I was like, absolutely fucking not.
Let's solve this one instead. So this new prosecutor believes that Kevin and Dawn were definitely murdered now, right? He's
Yeah.
like on board. He's like, that shit was shady. There were
Okay.
stab marks or whatever. Stab.
Definitely not an accident.
Definitely not an accident. So a local dude then came out and said that on the night of the murders, he saw 2 police officers beating the shit out of some kids in a parking lot.
What?
And then they threw the kids into the police car and they took off.
Uh-oh.
Those same police officers then came back later to that same store, like parking lot store or whatever, without the kids. But no one knows if it was Kevin and Dawn. Everyone's just like,
Interesting.
that's some fucking shady shit, right?
Yeah.
So even with all of this information, police still don't have a suspect for who might have actually murdered the boys. Mm-hmm. And then in 1995, the case was officially closed.
Why? How? What?
Because they're just like, I fucking know. That was
They
some old
closed
shit.
it?
Yeah, they're like, case not solved. Unknown.
I don't know. Yeah. What the fuck?
And then in 1996, Kevin's mom released a video called Obstruction of Justice.
Oh, obstruction of justice.
Yeah, it feels like a very metal song, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that video talked about her son's botched investigation.
Yeah.
And she went on to say that it was all in an effort to cover up a huge drug ring involving a shit ton of higher-ups in the town.
Meth.
Maybe.
What? Like the
So-
Popo 5-0 or slinging meth?
Maybe the Popo 5-0.
Or Pat?
Maybe some other higher-ups. So,
Oh, okay.
one
we got
of
some
the...
oligarchs. Or
We
whatever
got
they're
some
called.
in America, some Arkansas.
You could do it.
What do you call an Arkansas? A person from Arkansas?
Arkansanian.
Arcadian.
Oh, Arkansasian.
One of those higher ups was Dan Harmon.
Dad.
Dan.
Mm-hmm.
Dan was one of the original prosecutors on the case.
Oh, what?
And Dan was arrested that same year for beating up a reporter.
What?
And Dan was convicted on racketeering, extortion, and drug conspiracy charges in 1997.
Uh-oh.
He was sentenced to 8 years in prison.
Uh-oh, Dan.
He admitted that about 900 criminal cases had to be dropped because he just didn't bring the defendants to trial within a year.
What?
So they just, like,
Next time.
we'll get them next time. They
So
just
he was
got
basically
away.
just coasting on his job and not doing anything.
Well, people came out and they testified against him, saying that Dan would demand money to drop the charges against them. So,
shit.
you got caught up in some shit? He's like, well, pay me and I'll
Undo that shit.
I'll just not have you show up for court and they'll just forget about that shit, right?
That's fucking shady. Don't they take an oath?
They do.
That's so dumb.
So he's like,
The oath part, and also that he's an asshole, but like, you know.
I mean, that people like believe that the oath is real. Like, well, okay, I promise.
On my honor.
On my honor, I won't.
Your honor, shit, Todd.
Yeah, Dan. So women also came out and said that Dan had told them that he would drop the charges against their husbands or whoever if they would have sex with him.
This slimeball.
Yeah, this slime ball
What
is
an asshat.
fucking right. So he was released in 2006.
Wow, that's it? Like 10 years?
Yep.
9 years, you
Yep,
said?
10 years.
Wow.
And then he was arrested in 2010.
Again?
Yep.
Right away?
No, 2010, so he had 4 years out.
Still, but
He was attempting to sell drugs to an undercover cop.
what the fuck?
He was attempting to sell morphine and hydrocodone
Okay, so he is slinging some intense shit.
near a school.
What an idiot.
So he was facing like 10 years for each charge, right? And there were multiple fucking charges.
Oh, wow.
So he was facing a long time, like probable life in prison,
Yeah.
but he was acquitted of all the charges against him.
Why?
Because he's Dan.
Well, he's got fucking beer-flavored nipples. What's going on with Dan?
Dan the man. He was like, you know what I'm not going to do? Show up to that fucking court case. I don't know. I don't know how he got
What?
away with it, but he got away with it.
Was it in the same, like, city, town, place?
I
Whatever?
believe so.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
But that shit runs deep.
That shit runs
Nobody
deep.
wanted to double check on him? Like, hey, man, you two can't work together because you're best friends. You
No.
know? Like, we worked at a smoothie shop and our boss wouldn't even let us work together because we were best friends. And I'm like, that's who you need to put together to get shit done.
Yeah. Like, did you not want customers to be entertained?
Are you not entertained? Strawberry banana coming up.
I don't know. They were just like, I mean, Dan had some fucking,
Like somebody vouched for Dan.
yeah, sick moves back there. And now he's off. So another person who supposedly had information that could be useful was Keith Coney, a 19-year-old. But he died in a motorcycle accident in May
Suspicious?
of 1988.
Son
Yeah.
of a bitch.
Pretty much right after it happened.
That sucks.
and
What'd he
people were
know?
Like, check out Keith. No, we don't know.
How do we know Keith knew something?
I don't know.
We just
But
know Keith also had some information.
Keith had some information.
Keith was like, I got some information. If anybody asks me, I'll tell them. And we were all like, fuck off, Keith.
Everyone was like, nobody wants to know, Keith. And then he got in an accident.
Son of a bitch.
He
Somebody
died.
should ask Keith.
And then there was another guy who apparently had been talking to people around town saying that he was scared for his life because he knew something about that, quote, railroad track thing.
What?
And then he wound up stabbed to death by a man named Ronald Smith.
What the fuck?
Now, Ronald was sentenced to
There's
10
a lot
years.
of dying happening in this story.
There's a lot of dying happening.
Okay, we're covering some big shit up.
There's some cover-ups coming on here.
Okay, so what's up with Ronald?
So Ronald was sentenced to 10 years for the murder.
Okay.
But it was undetermined if he was paid to kill him or not because apparently another inmate at that same prison came forward and said that he was offered $4,000 to kill that guy.
I don't trust anybody anymore in this story, for the record.
Every single person has an ulterior motive.
Yeah, what the hell's going on in Arkansas, guys?
Well, fucking meth, apparently.
Yeah, but not
So-
in Little Rock, in Alexander.
In Alexander, Arkansas. So, fun fact, this one's just a little fucking aside for Mr. Medical Examiner back there.
Yeah, what the fuck's up with that guy?
Another guy named James Milam was killed a few years before Dawn and Kevin were. He had been found decapitated,
Whoa.
and when his body was examined, they said that
It was an accident.
he was not decapitated. You see, what had happened was
I'm sorry, how do you fuck that up?
he had a perforated ulcer, and he died of that. His dog probably just ate his head,
Stop.
his small dog. And that's why it's gone.
His head was gone?
His head was gone, and they're like, the dog ate it.
Wait, like somebody took his head?
I don't
Because we know the
fucking know.
dog didn't eat it.
The dog didn't eat it. They didn't have a head, though. They were like, he's
They
decapitated.
didn't have a head, and they didn't have a skull. Like the dog didn't
I
eat
don't
the
think
skull.
so. The fucking dog ate it. The dog ate his skull. And that was the same medical examiner who originally ruled the boys
Okay,
fucking
this guy,
comatose
what
from
would be
20
his
marijuana
motive?
cigarettes.
What would be his motive, though?
Covering some shit up.
For the skull guy?
I don't know what that one was. Maybe it was a different cover up. Maybe something else had happened. 'cause
Well,
that guy
obviously
was
something else
decapitated.
happened. The dude was decapitated.
Maybe. Yeah.
Was
I
it
don't
in a
know.
different town?
No,
Same
I think
town.
that was the same town.
What the fuck is going on in this town? People are getting decapitated and getting their dogs eating their heads off. People getting stabbed in parking lots.
So then in 2018, former pro wrestler Billy Jack Haynes
Oh my God.
came out and said that he had witnessed the murders of the boys back in 1987.
How did so many people witness these murders and they were so afraid for their lives or whatever? Like, what is going on? Okay, so what
Everybody's covering up for everybody. So Billy Jack Haynes said that he used to be a drug trafficker / fucking hired help, like the muscle or whatever,
Yeah.
during the 80s. And he said that he worked with a prominent politician
Okay.
that he would
Damn.
not name.
Yeah, we all know who it is.
And irrelevant, but he found the need to confess that he was also asked to kill one of the Kennedys in 1984. So I don't know if that's like him
Okay.
being like, I had some street cred. They thought I could kill people, and
Yeah.
they tried to get me to kill
And
the
he's like,
Kennedys.
but I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't do it, though.
Okay.
But-
okay, good job, I guess, for not fucking murdering somebody for
Are
some
we
money.
supposed to applaud your morals here?
Yeah, like what the fuck?
I don't know why it was mentioned.
I didn't even do it.
But he said that a politician hired him as muscle at a drug stop in Arkansas, and he witnessed the murders. He said they were conducted by another enforcer, like fucking some of the other hired help.
Yeah,
hired
some other
muscle.
dude.
hmm He said that in 2016, he gave the names of everyone involved to Linda Ives, Kevin's mom, who still had a private investigator. Now, all of that being said, this case is never solved.
Why is he just like, yeah, I told the names. Like he didn't want to tell us now in this little fucking interview that you're reading?
No. He's like, I gave it all to her back then. She's going to do some shit with it or not or whatever. I just want everyone to know that I saw it and I was there. And
I did not murder a Kennedy, even though I was given the opportunity to.
I was given the opportunity to.
So-
Maybe his career was like,
No, you're not putting your phone away. We're not done.
Oh,
Are we
that's it?
done? Wait, okay, hold up. So is Linda still alive?
no. That was my last bullet that I was going to find. She died, and I don't remember when because I did not write it down.
And when did this home dude come forward? Billy Haynes?
2018. Billy Mays.
19, you said?
18.
18? So it's pretty recent. And he was like, I gave it all to her, but she's dead, dude. So, like, you want to just fucking spit it out?
Do you want to share with the class? Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it wasn't in that interview. Maybe he also gave it to police, but it wasn't in this one article where he let out a video fucking
Well, obviously,
publicly.
if you give it to the police, it's not going to do anything. Like, let's call up that private private investigator.
Maybe like the FBI, like the police's police, right? Like,
Yeah, but it doesn't sound like they got involved.
The
They keep
FBI,
brushing
no,
it
they
off.
didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
keep brushing it off. So that's what I'm saying. Like, let's go tell the private investigator these names and let him go privately investigate.
Well, I think that was, he said he gave it to Linda Ives, who would have given it to her private investigator.
Unless she died before she could utter the words off of her fucking lips.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I do not like this story. So now we just don't know.
Now
Other
we
than
just don't
Arkansas's fucking shady as hell.
Other than Arkansas is shady as hell, and 2 teenage boys were more than likely witnessed a drug deal or something gone wrong, were fucking seen, caught by whoever upper echelon people in Arkansas, and murdered, put on train tracks, attempted to cover it up
Yeah.
horribly, and then it kind of fell apart piece by piece, but no one has been able to like pick it up or puzzle it all together.
Theory. Probably an unpopular one because it paints the victims in a maybe undesirable whatever. But what if they were kind of like pawns, you know, like because they said I'm going spotlight hunting or whatever and grab their gun. But what if they weren't and they're just telling their parents that and they're really going to go do some shady shit because they think they got an in with these like drug people like, hey kid, you want to make a couple of bucks? I'll give you some pot or whatever. And they're like, fuck yeah. And then from there, they like maybe they were doing this for a while and then they witnessed something or they did something or they fucking grabbed some pot or some shit like that. And they were like, not in these parts, motherfucker.
And that absolutely could have happened or could have been a thing, but either which way, you still end up with the same end result of some people are covering up a lot of shit.
A lot of shit.
Like medical examiner, fucking police with the tarp and shit.
So corrupt.
Yeah.
That's like everything, though. Like, it's all around us. This isn't just the 80s. It's like still happening.
I would like to believe that it's just the 80s.
Oh, no.
Oh, no,
We have, like,
no.
you know.
You remember Bethel Church?
Yeah, Bethel Church. See? Yeah, it's kind of scary.
It's super scary.
It's all about who you know.
And they knew the right people.
And they knew Crackle.
They knew Crackle. Whoever they knew fucking covered their shit up for him.
Not very well, but they knew enough people to cover it.
Yeah.
That's
Not very
fucked
well.
up. I feel so bad for their families.
Yeah.
The only saving grace, though, is that they did not likely die by the train. At least one of them.
Yeah.
Or they were not consciously aware.
They were not consciously aware when the train happened. And at least one of them was all the way dead first, which I think that being murdered is just a pretty horrific way to go either which way. But I feel like I don't want to get hit by a train. That sounds awful.
You know what I've heard recently? Because I'm on TikTok a lot, obviously. And I get into weird shit. And I heard somebody was explaining that when you die, of course, we don't know if this is true.
Mm-hmm.
But
She
when
was like, in my experience.
Yeah, in my experience, which I am very into near-death experiences too. But they were saying that when you die, it's similar to like being born. Like it's just an event that happens and it means nothing to you. So like when people are like, oh my God, she died by being murdered or whatever, how horrific the thing she had to endure before. But like when you're dead, you're like, oh shit, that already happened. Like it's like you don't really remember being born. It's just an event that happened in your life.
But I don't want to have to live through being like tortured or stabbed.
Yeah, but you lived through being born. That's pretty gory. And
All
you
it
don't
is
have
being
any-
squeezed.
And there's like blood on you.
Okay, but it's not coming out of you. Most cases.
Yeah, I was going to say, you don't know that. Anyway, on that note, if you guys want to check out pictures pertaining to Erin's case that she just told us, go to isgdpodcast.com. And while you're there, there's a link to Patreon. Click that shit and come join our Patreon. For as little as $1, you get an extra episode every month. And for as little as $10, you get all the behind-the-scenes video, every fucking access to everything that all content. You just get it.
You get so much.
So much. Every week you get a video episode and it's not edited. So like it's just us taking piss breaks and ranting about afterlife and toilet water and weird shit.
Gross stuff.
Other things that get cut out. Anyway, it's really fun and totally worth it. And plus you get to support your favorite fucking podcast.
We hope.
Yeah. You can also join us on social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Our handle is at ISGD Podcast. You can email us at isgdpodcast@gmail.com or you can snail mail us at
P.O. Box 2764, Spring Valley, California, 91979.
And I think that's all we got, folks.
Bye.
Later.